What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks Play-In Edition. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you, too, because then you become a prize whenever great betting content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Looks like the Hawks are going to get it done here against the Heat. We're at 433. They're up 10. That's good stuff. I need 2 more points out of Trae Young, and I will be able to breathe heavy. Had the money line in conjunction with the points, as well as the points individually, and lots of things. And boy, did I need it after Houston ended up throwing up a dunce cap in the baseball streets. But we're all right. We're doing okay. We're making through. Again, NBA, now that we're getting more to the predictable stage of things where we know playoff rotations, we know, Jalen Johnson didn't see that one coming, but lots of opportunities we have to go make some money in the NBA streets, and Bet365, probably the easiest place to do that. If you live in these 4 states, Colorado, New Jersey, Ohio, or Virginia, and why? Well, only in those 4 states is Bet365 available. You sign up for that in the video description box below. Click on that link, bet $1, get yourself $200 in bet credits. This is a short video talking about it here on the front end. I'm going to spare you in between the 2 games, so just wanted to let you know. I'm going to repeat 4 states: Colorado, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia. I went kind of back across the country and then I came down. You know, I could maybe do it from East Coast to West Coast. No, I'm not going to ever do that. I'm just going to say whatever the first 4 states that come to my mind are, that are those 4 states, because they're the only ones available for Bet365. But we got 2 games for the play-in tournament here. It's the 9 and 10 seeds. Oh boy, Wednesday is going to be a doozy. Elimination Station, it's in effect. Let's get to the picks, shall we? Same thing as yesterday. Leans, likes, locks. We're going to do them all together now. Birds of a feather now. Let's get to the picks. We head to the first game of the night, the Eastern Conference Showdown. 9 Toronto, 10 Bulls. Wild little spot here. And I'm going to give a shout out to the Odd Shopper tools. This has been something that they've been on both sides of almost consistently well all season long, and it's the Patrick Beverley rebounds prop. Now, Patrick Beverley, since being acquired by Chicago, nobody wanted him. That's kind of sad, even though he had a positive EPM, expected plus minus, with the Minnesota Timberwolves last year, but decent enough here at spots. But I don't really know what to make of any of his minutes. It's kind of one of those things where they haven't played a meaningful game, really, other than that 24 minutes against Detroit. They were always going to run Detroit out of the building. And those rebounds have really started coming down of late. And part of that is just extended minutes for Vooch, extended minutes for DeMar DeRozan, extended minutes for Levine. All better rebounders than that of Mr. Patrick Beverley. And that's where I think this 4.5 number, pretty large to me. Again, Zach LaVine is the one who averages 4.5 per game. And Patrick Beverley, with Alex Caruso healthy, come a playoff spot where you have a Toronto team that you're going to have to play some real heavy defense with. I don't care about the Patrick Beverley slapping the floor. I don't care about any of that garbage. Getting up on the table, yay, we won the play-in game with the Timberwolves. Whatever that was last year. It was cool when it happened in the moment, but it's not very cool now. Kind of a ridiculous move. But looking at his rebound rate, averages 3.7 on the season. Obviously, part of that was with Los Angeles, different circumstances, but looking at the rebound rate so far with Chicago, and it just profiles as the lowest of anybody in that starting unit. I do question what they're going to do here going forward, if it's going to be the days of yore where they go to the split Alex Caruso, Patrick Beverley kind of backcourt. But I don't think you can do that against Toronto if they're going to start with that big Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Jakob Poeltl lineup. I think you got to throw Patrick Williams out on the floor. I talked about this in this matchup between these 2 teams a lot earlier in the season, and it came to fruition. So I think Patrick Beverley might be splitting a little bit more with Alex Caruso than you think. And Alex Caruso, I find to be the better defender. If I'm in a must-win scenario, I play my dudes. And I think Patrick Beverley might be coming off the court a little bit less than, might be coming off the court a little bit more than you might think. And that's where I'm trying to short him. And I think the points prop's about efficient at 4.5, but 4.5 rebounds? That's a lot of court time. It's a lot of tall dudes, a lot bigger than him on the Toronto and Chicago side that have more ample opportunity to make it happen. So I'm leaning Patrick Beverley. I haven't bet it yet. Want to get that confirmed starting lineup if I can. I might just have to guess, though. And that's where it stood up at the top of the tool over here at Odd Shopper for quite a while. So that is going to be my lean play here. I think it's a decent enough spot to be targeting some unders on Beverley across the board. Maybe a single game parlay might make a little bit more sense, but Truly do believe Patrick Beverley. I'd be shocked if he played more than 26 minutes in this matchup. We go to the like section next, my friends, and the like for me revolves around one, the only Fred VanVleet. And this is where I think Alex Caruso might have to be on the floor more, because we haven't seen Toronto really play a competitive spot in quite some time. They got lit up by Boston when they realized that they were going to always be hosting that 9-seed game. They ended up just kind of allowing it to happen towards the end of that game. Didn't really try to struggle towards the end. Kind of accepted their fates at that point. They played Boston previously too, lost that one in a close competitive spot, 97-93. Fred VanVleet didn't really show up for either of those. But you know who Chicago is not? They're not Boston. No. They do not have the Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White type of defensive duo. Marcus Smart on the perimeter. I don't see any way that Chicago really slows him down other than maybe Alex Caruso coming out there. And I think I want to get the entire portfolio for this one. We've seen as many as 20 assists recently for Fred VanVleet. Now, I don't expect that by any means. A 2020 game, Barbara Walters. Shout out to the Go back once upon a time. She's missed. Never forgotten. Never forget, though. Fred VanVleet, though. We've got a PRA there sitting of 30.5. Right around standard juice. It's a little bit too low for me. I look at the assist rate across the board. Usage should still be there, although OG Anunoby has started to be more offensively forward of late. Kind of a new phenomenon for him. I think come playoff time, though, it's going to be a lot of pick and roll with Pascal Siakam, as it should be. Nick Nurse, as it should be. Tighten the rotation. Gary Trent, we'll see how much floor time he gets to in a must-win, win or go home situation, but I think it's a good spot to be investing on Pascal. Sure, we'll get to him in a second. But we're going to be investing in Fred VanVleet, my dude. Trying to get ahead of myself. 30.5 PRA. Give me the entire portfolio in this spot against the Bulls. I kind of almost ruined the... dude. I was never a drummer. I think you can tell. I'm going to Pascal Siakam. Going to be beautiful stuff, because we're starting to see him come into his own once more. Now, really hard to tell end of season basketball just what the incentive was. Again, playing Boston back-to-back. They kind of realized being the 9 seed was an all right spot for them to be at that point in time. Now they're probably going to be playing Miami in Miami, because I do expect Toronto to win this basketball game, although I don't know if I want to lay 5.5 to really find out here. So I'm going to be taking the money line. It's going to be a single game parlay lock for the people. I'm feeling like Eitan Shander over here, but Pascal Siakam, 23.5 points against this interior, against Nikola Vucevic defense. If they don't have Patrick Williams out there playing defense, I would be shocked. Again, you need him on the floor to contain. You need that in your life, because DeMar DeRozan sure ain't it. I know he's going to be going out, giving it everything he can in his old home stomping grounds of Toronto there, but feel really good about Pascal Siakam going nuts here. Over 23.5, along with the Toronto money line. Yes, I'm going to avoid laying the 5 here. Just give me the money line for a little bit of a booster. If Siakam plays well, would be very surprised to see Toronto lose this game at home. So put the two together, maybe knit a sweater. What could be better? Scarlet letter? No, that'd be bad. Toronto getting it done for us. Over 23.5 points with the Toronto money line. Lock it up. I said I wasn't going to waste any time with this, so I decided I'm just going to do it all in one breath. You click in the link below. If you're in one of these 4 states, Colorado, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, you bet $1 and you deposit $10 or more, and you get $200 in bonus bets. That's such a ridiculous deal. I can't believe a sportsbook would possibly give you this kind of a deal. It's only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Okay, to the last game of the night we go. Doing 40-minute videos for baseball, doing 10-minute videos for NBA, but you know what? Love my NBA streets. We're going to stay in it till the bitter end here. I'm here to give you the goods on Oklahoma City in the play-in tournament. I'm really excited for this one, taking on the Pelicans. And obviously, I think the Pelicans should be favored, but I think there might be value. We're getting close to that plus 200 number on OKC. Kind of want to see that plus 200 number on OKC. We're not there yet. Plus 185 over on DraftKings. Best available number. I guess there's a plus 185 over at Caesars now, too. You can find that out instantly over at OddsShopper as well. But going to be leaning on that money line because I want to just cheer for this team. What a weird piece of analysis. But again, it projects out pretty efficiently. I'm just thinking about doing it in conjunction with maybe another play. Maybe take SGA points, even though those are really not projecting out well for me at the moment. Looking very efficient as well. OKC Thunder money line, though, I don't know what to make of this interior on the Pelicans side. We've seen Jonas Valanciunas get away from closing, even with Larry Nance dinged up here. He's questionable entering this game, and we'll round out our program with that one, that's for sure. But going to be an interesting spot here for the Pelicans. I want to see what they're going to do. I think Jonas Valanciunas is probably the one matchup that they do have here. If they decide not to run him out there, my lock will be dead. But either way, looking at Thunder money line, because I think they have enough SGA, Jalen Williams, the Williams combination. Not just painters anymore. They're NBA players for OKC. That was a Williams and Williams joke. We should probably go to my and actual bets that I like, huh? Yeah, that sounds good. Brandon Ingram is definitely the key, the catalyst to this entire game from the Pelicans side. He has done everything for them of late. We've seen that assist rate climb up. We've seen 6 or more assists in pretty much every game for the last, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, it would seem. We've seen massive rebound allotments without Jonas Valanciunas closing in some of these spots, playing limited minutes in must-win spots, and playing 46, 40, 42 minutes. Put up 42 points against Minnesota in that losing effort, trying to make themselves ascend. But either way, they got stuck here at the 9 seed. They're going to be hosting OKC, a very pesky OKC team. And there's one matchup that I'm very excited for. Well, there's kind of 2 matchups on both sides of this one. I'm curious to see how OKC utilizes their small forwards, specifically Lou Dort, Jalen Williams. How do they utilize him to slow down Brandon Ingram? And how does it work inverse where the Pelicans have Herb Jones, kind of an all-encompassing defender? Trey Murphy III can be decent enough in that regard too. How do they just contain SGA and Josh Giddey? What do they plan to go do in that spot? Well, the Brandon Ingram, I'm definitely going to be shorting because 45.5 is the number. I have this for 42. Now, Brandon Ingram could legitimately play every minute of this game if he stays out of foul trouble. He could legitimately maybe leave for a minute or 2 if things aren't going south. But we've seen that they are just going to let him have free reign and try to win these basketball games almost single-handedly. However, I believe Lou Dort and Jalen Williams could do enough. I think they're going to be able to slow them down just enough that this number just seems way too high to me. Even against OKC, we've seen day after day, they are just up there in pace. Third, 101.6 possessions per 48 minutes. But I don't care. It's a projection. We're looking at the numbers. We're looking at the data. I think Brandon Ingram, asking him to go out and put 45.5 up, it's a big number when you're talking about standard juice. So under that is where I'm liking things. Now, my lock. This is a little bit dependent on a piece of news. Kind of gave you some foreshadowing there, but Larry Nance Jr. is questionable. Similar to Karl Anthony Towns on Tuesday, I'd be surprised if he didn't play. Similar to Kyle Lowry, guys like that, I would be surprised if they didn't play. This is a play-in tournament. It is in essence the playoffs, even if it's not known as such. You want to have your guys out there, and Larry Nance, if there's any way he can get on the floor, I think he does. But a left ankle injury, they're calling it soreness. Just saying. You could be limited to Larry Nance Jr. And I do think you look at the OKC lineup, and where do you have the biggest advantage here? It is without a doubt, to me, the interior with Jonas Valanciunas. You have Jalen Williams, the AYLIN version, not the ALEN, who should have been up there for Rookie of the Year, even if, he had no chance because Paulo Banchero exists. But you're looking at a center spot where Jonas Valanciunas just runs into these spots where you don't know what to make of his minutes. But I do think, as you go through some of the game logs, there needs to be some context. Against Minnesota, you had a weird spot where Rudy Gobert wasn't on the floor in the second half. So 22 minutes there, they went small. Karl Anthony Towns at the time, I totally understand that one. Against the Knicks, they were there. The Knicks were pretty depleted, playing an interior without many guys there. Played 25 minutes, 12 rebounds, very serviceable there as well. 8 and 12 is what it is. The Memphis one's a little strange to me, although Jaren Jackson Jr. got dinged up in that game. So coming down the stretch, he has been limited in the last few games, but it's so hard to extrapolate certain pieces of data about end of season scenarios. So here's my take. I think Jonas Valanciunas should be on the floor for 28 minutes. Now, whether the coaches do that or not is what it is. Jonas Valanciunas is going to be able to put up rebounds even in limited minutes, no matter what. And the pace of this game, you're talking about third in pace, more possessions, more opportunity. I think he's looking at a spot where I don't know about 11 and a half in terms of rebounds here. I think that's a little bit high, even though he's put up 18 and 12 his last two in those limited spots. But I think getting the entire portfolio and hoping that he does feast on Jalen Williams in that starting unit, and however else they decide to play him, probably can't. They'll probably try to go small in some capacity there, but whether it's Dario Saric, who I guess could play minutes if they really need to. Olivier Saw, he's not going to play. He just played the last time out. But Jonas Valanciunas, if you see any kind of a limited tag on Larry Nance, you have the nuts with this play. I know that they went to a small ball 5 lineup with Josh Richardson to close out last game, but 28 minutes of Jonas Valanciunas is an absolute slam dunk, can't miss on 27.5 PRA. That is going to be the lock. Now, I'm going to call it like a standard play until you find out Larry Nance's status, or kind of feel it out. Feel it out a little bit. But for me, I'm full-fledged going the distance, locking it in from the get-go, hoping news either breaks my way, that I'm somehow right that Larry Nance might be limited, even though he's played the last few games. Just hoping the Pelicans realize this is their advantage in this matchup beyond anything else out on the floor. SGA, he's going to get his. Brandon Ingram, going to get his. But Jonas Valanciunas could be the key for the Pelicans trying to get an upset win. So, OKC, I think the value is going to be there. Going to be contrary to the Jonas Valanciunas play for me. But I think Jonas Valanciunas is just a better spot. He is my lock from Pelicans OKC. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks NBA Play-In Edition. Let me know in the comment section below which plays you've got your eye on for Wednesday's slate. Going to be a fun one. I love elimination basketball, elimination NBA basketball, if you will. Not that the college tournament sucks by any means. It's fantastic, but I just love my NBA. That's what it is. Just like I love Bet365, even though I can't take advantage of this offer, you should if you're in Colorado, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia. Bet $1, get $200 in bet credit. Sign up in the video description box below by clicking on that link, heading on over there, taking advantage of the greatness. It's only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Okay, I'm done. I'll be back on Thursday. I believe we'll have some basketball Thursday, right? Producer Alicia? We don't have basketball on Thursday. I'm getting the head nod. No, it's Friday. I'll be coming back to you Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody looking forward to the weekend. Okay, I'm going to leave. I'm really loopy. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Wednesday.